I can remember being a kid and just being sat around and just doodling and drawing pictures.
I would write stories, short stories. I couldn't draw, but I would write comic books, terribly drawn comic books.
I'm thinking, it's a shame that I'll probably never be able to go to university because I don't think I can go to university.
I remember thinking when I was watching a film called Jaws, which hopefully some people will have heard of, have seen, and while my sister was really, really scared, I was just thinking, how did they do that? How did they make, that's obviously not a real shark. How does this happen? And I'd always get drawn to, how does the production happen? How is this made? It was always a bit more interesting than the sort of narrative itself.
I remember asking someone that was very special to me, do you think I could go to university? And I was told, you need drive, ambition, or just the skills to be able to get to university. I don't think you've got any of them. And do you know what? Sometimes that's the drive and the kick that you need as well.
When possible, I would try and get my hand on video cameras when I was at college, or go into a little radio studio that we had and just kind of see how it worked.
Honestly, when I left college, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do.
Everyone kind of tells you, be a lawyer, be a scientist, be a doctor, and that works for some people. But for me, it wasn't me. I love music, I love films, I love games, and that kind of, I knew in the back of my mind that was what I wanted to do, even though it wasn't what was considered appropriate.
And I'm now teaching on a BSc, teaching across 3 different, very, very specific BSc pathways, all in shortage areas.
I think if someone's passionate about something, you should follow that.
I didn't know I was going to end up here, and I think a lot of people in their job roles don't know where they're going to end up.
I kind of landed myself on air by accident, actually. My news editor said to me, well, I've got nobody in, you're going to have to read the news. That was September the 11th, 2001. It was a complete jump in the deep end, but it taught me everything that I needed to know about reading news on the radio, essentially.
I was in a dead-end job, wasn't really going anywhere.
At the time that happened, I was also on work experience.
And then I looked at a career that I'd actually want to do and enjoy going to work for.
I'd gone to study a broadcast journalism course. I'd gone off to the radio station on work experience, determined to make myself as useful as I could, because I knew that it's not an impossible industry to get into, but it's a competitive and a tough industry to get into.
Sciences and maths, they were not my strong points, so I very much was leaning towards subjects like English and drama, and I quite liked languages as well.
A big worry for me when I started university is that I wouldn't have a career choice. I wouldn't really know what to do with myself once I finished my degree.
I knew that if I could make myself useful enough, then hopefully I'd be the person that they called back if ever they needed, a shift to cover.
But I think my university has really helped with that because I found out what it is I want to do now.
There are no limits to how creative you can be.
And I was just there, I was in the right place at the right time, and it's about making yourself proactive, useful, and really pushing yourself forward, because those opportunities are there if you go and look for them.